Yeah.
For next.
And then have eat dinner.
Yeah, I'll check out.
I think that's correct, so I'll take it to a deal. Steve Treasure. Sorry,
No, I'm sorry.
this corner's is gonna be rough.
See what happens, we just take a.
Do we go grab it or you?
No, that's fine. No.
I'm sure it is. I know we talked about that.
I'm the best for about I didn't have her more. Do you need me to help you?
Really good? Good. Oh, yeah.
Jerry.
Some days it just don't.
No. I,
Don't
get that on my.
When we have the chart and another one, but this is the chart. High school. It's so hard. The chart says 10.95 each, or it's a high. I don't have anything to do with what he did, because that's the way it.
It's 6:30, everybody, listen up. Call to order the Lebanon City Council meeting for June 9th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Belkey.
Here.
Bennett. Cornish. Pharaoh.
Here.
Marcinkowski.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Here.
Stevenson. Washington.
Okay, please join me in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, there's a motion to approve the omnibus agenda.
I will move to approve the agenda with one correction. And that is, while we give 10 minutes for guests to speak during the, audience, by ordinance, alderpersons have 10 minutes. So that should be 10 minutes for all.
And you meant 5 on the audience, so I think.
5 in the audience, right?
You need a motion to change that or
Yeah,
anything?
you need a motion to amend it.
Okay.
Second.
Any discussion?
Oh,
No, did you say something, Linda? No. Okay, roll call, please.
Pharaoh.
yes.
Marcinkowski.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Stevenson.
Yep.
Washington. Belkey.
Yes.
And now I move the omnibus agenda as corrected.
You got a second on that?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Marcinkowski.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Stevenson.
Yeah.
Washington.
Yeah.
Belkey.
Yes.
Pharaoh.
Yes.
Is that it? Yeah. All right, now we'll move on to the audience. Anybody in the audience have anything to say? Yeah, 5 minutes. Good, okay.
I have a public invitation.
Yeah. Go ahead and state your name. I know who you are.
Susan Stevenson. Public invitation for a first ever community band concert held at the Methodist Church, June 18th, Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is the Belleville Community Band. We are like 35 volunteer members. And it's our first appearance here in Lebanon. All volunteer nonprofit 35-piece concert band performing many styles of music, including classical, show, movie tunes, marches, jazz, and German. Coming here an evening of entertainment. It's free admission, but goodwill donations are always gladly accepted.
Okay, so you want to post it in the,
I do have one there,
Oh, you have one
but
there?
I leave one for everybody just to gander at, and
Okay.
maybe Paul can make a copy for everybody's basket.
Yeah. we need that.
Any
It's
questions?
the other thing.
Items, I mean,
Okay.
outside, inside the fellowship hall. It's wheelchair accessible for anyone with disabilities as well. The wheelchair door. It'll be 7 o'clock, doors open around 6:30, 5 hour-long performance. Appreciate your support, come out and see the first ever community band in Lebanon.
Thanks, Stephen. Anybody else? You want to go, Greg?
Well, I guess it's me. I didn't know it too early.
Just state your name, Greg.
Yeah, I'm Greg Peterson. I'm president of the Lebanon Historical Society, but I'm not speaking for them and I'm not, I don't have any special knowledge about anything in the club. I'm just putting out some of my thoughts here, and I didn't realize I was gonna do this till early, just an hour or two ago, so it's gonna kind of go around, but it'll all come back to a good place, I think. I grew up in Lebanon and, on Florence Street. I first learned about City Hall and the goings on and all that. They were wanting to put apartment buildings down in Florence Street. This was Russ Fairburn Group back in the early 70s. And my mother fought it, and now we've got Foxmore there. There's not apartment buildings. And the thing about apartment buildings that's bad for Lebanon is they just don't really contribute to the school funding like a home does. So apartments are always a worse idea. And I kind of got involved with all this. The Historical Society tried to give a trolley away. And they came up here and just wanted a place on the square somewhere to park it. And that was met pretty harshly by a couple of people. And the guy from the Historical Society, he just got mad and said, well, you can't have it then, and he walked out. And a bunch of activity happened after that, and son of a gun, the trolley got done. And I kind of see just from the outside looking in, there's the people that donate time, and some people donate money, and there's some people that do both. And just in case anybody doesn't know it, the owners of Papa John LLC, they're good guys, cut and dry, they're good guys. I've seen so much stuff that they've done anonymously that's affected us. You couldn't find a finer group of people than that. And it just mentioned, you know, they own the building next to the Mermaid House. And the Mermaid House, there's a bit of a mystery to it, and I'll come back to that in a minute, but nobody can figure out why they sold 6 feet of that and ended up with the building next door this far apart. It makes no sense. And I think I figured it out while I was thinking about all this. When we moved to Lebanon, you drove into town, you had a golf course on the left. It was beautiful, just acres and acres of green. It was just, those houses weren't there. It was just really, really an impressive thing. And what my little problem with the square and giving away the parking, my girlfriend and I, we just cut a vacation short and we drove Highway 50 from Cincinnati all the way to Lebanon. You drive through all these little towns, you got gas stations on the main intersection. There's nothing really there, but that square could really be something. You know, there could be big trees there. I think I could get you the trolley there. People would stop to look at the trolley, they'd spend some money. But if we give away this parking for free forever and they want, you know, an easement from us, you know, to, give them some space to do what they want. And nobody gets that concept of forever. It just, sometime in our lives, there might be that highway that bypasses Lebanon. And when that happens, all of a sudden that intersection might not be the scary thing that it is right now, and so noisy and so terrible.
You got 1 minute.
Oh, thanks. And anyway, just getting back to that, if Lebanon wants to solve their financial problems, you need to figure out incentives to get people to build homes here. You know, those apartments, they're basically, my math says that they're only, each apartment's only gonna contribute $500 or $600 a month to school, or a year to the school system. Same as a $500 a month, a year trailer lot. And the money just isn't there. But anyway, if there were big trees there, the trolley there, and you have a focal point, it's something good. And back to the mystery of the Mermaid House, I think what it was, somebody was doing somebody a favor. They liked them. Yeah, you can have 6 feet of this, so you got enough room to make it a big, nice car dealership. So that's it. And Papa John's LLC, they're the greatest.
Okay, thanks, Greg.
And if I have to, I'll do whatever I can to keep that guy my friend, because I'd do anything for those guys.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else?
Terry Watt.
Okay,
I sent in a FARIA request, city clerk, Scott and Jimmy, on, the Hunter Street lift station project. It was supposed to have been completed December 31st of 24. They just started it recently. Did anybody bother to read the contract that was signed? In that, and it also states for every day after that, the owner of the construction company is to pay the city somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 a day for being late. Unless I wasn't given all the paperwork. It's right here. Guess nobody has an answer.
you done?
Yeah, I'd like to have somebody give me an answer to this. Was
Maybe
there
get
an
later on.
extension?
We can't answer questions.
Was there an extension put on it?
Sorry. We can't answer any questions right now, so you just cool it, okay, please? All right, anybody else out there? Lori? State your name.
I'm Lori Phillips, and we had a meeting with Live With Us LLC last Friday. And we were just talking general things of what we can do to help them get what they needed. And we were told that they had 6 weeks on June 2nd to get their special usage changed to a variance. So when we asked them if they can make changes to their plans, they stated that, well, it would take 3 weeks for them to get reapproval. The plans they have now allow for very egress windows that are 36 by 60. If anybody can realize how big that is, that's a huge window, and they're going to put anything from 7 to 9 of them facing into our gardens. They're wanting a variance or an egress from us of 26 inches by 60, 26 inches by 93. The Lebanon Historical Society is thinking about doing this, but it just seems like if it only takes them three weeks to redo their plans and we get rid of those egress windows, it would be really better for the Historical Society. Also, they have windows up into our porch and our building our building is 39 inches, 30 inches plus a 8.6 porch. Well, their first apartment goes right up to that line. So they want 2 windows into our porch and into our building. So we're hoping that somebody can come up with a plan and bring it to you guys to see if we can get it changed. Because the plan they have now isn't going to work. I mean, they're gonna have windows facing our building. We're gonna have 6 to 9 windows that are 36 by 60 facing into the gardens. It's just, it's silly. If it takes 6 weeks for a variance to be, I mean, yeah, a special usage change to a variance. And only 3 weeks for them to change their plans and get it to you for reapproval. I don't know why they can't help us out as a club that is for historical purposes. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren. Anybody else in the audience? Sharon?
I guess just super briefly,
Tell everybody who you are.
Sharon Dial, sorry. After said meeting, I went out and took a close look at exactly where, if you just draw a straight line north from the handicap parking space as was taught in, toward St. Louis Street, which is where y'all were talking about putting the easement. That ends up taking about 1/3 of the green space that's there and getting really close to what would be, is the root zone of the Cedar of Lebanon. So I think if there were a few fewer apartments, or if that easement zigged in so that it would take less of putting of impermeable pavement and such in that area, that would be beneficial to that. And I also know we have a lot of problems with stormwater and that sort of stuff. So putting a lot of impermeable surface right at the top of the hill would definitely contribute to stormwater issues. So even doing something like using permeable pavements or something like that would just be good. Just short, brief comment.
Okay, Sharon. You have something, Ron?
Ron Tramey, most of you know me. I am also a member of the Historical Society. I just want to clarify a few things. A lot of what was said here is basically strictly between the Historical Society and the other property owner. It has nothing to do with the city. This is not settled between the Historical Society and the owner of the property. We'll be discussing it, maybe in about a week. There's differences of opinion in the organization, what I'm trying to tell you, and that's gonna have to be worked out. It is gonna be worked out. I have no idea how it's gonna end up. I just want to make it clear that there are differences of opinion. As Drake said, he wasn't speaking for the Historical Society. I'm not either. But what I'm saying is, there's more than one opinion here, okay? It's kind of divided. It's gonna get settled. Hopefully to everybody's satisfaction. Done.
And thanks, Ron. Anybody else? Here, move on to older persons. Anybody have anything? You got anything, George? Nothing?
I could, but I
No,
won't.
no.
You got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I know I got 10 minutes ago. I'm also a member of the Historical Society, so I have to recuse myself.
All right, then, if there's nothing else, we'll move on. Plan Commission says they have no meeting in June. Now we'll move on to committee reports, streets and alleys. Sean,
We have nothing. We'll meet on July 7th.
okay, finance, Mike.
No, nothing. We'll meet a week from tonight.
Okay, back to you again, George, ordinance.
Now I get to use up my speaking time. We meet July 7th at 6:30. We have 5 ordinances for approval. Because all of the ordinances are not in writing for the committee, we're gonna move on all of them rather than do them by recommendation. So, first one, I move approval of the ordinance amending section 36-52 of the Lebanon City Code to increase the height allowance for accessory uses in a residential district. Basically, this allows up to 25-foot height on an accessory building on property, or the height of the principal residence, whichever is lower.
You just need a second on that.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Smith.
Yes.
Stevenson.
Yes.
Washington.
Yeah.
Belkey.
Yes.
Farrell.
Yes,
Marcinkowski.
Yes.
okay. I'll move approval of an ordinance adding section 43 to Article 2 of chapter 34 of the City of Lebanon Municipal Code regarding allowed sewer charge adjustments.
Need a second on that?
Second.
Okay, this basically approves the use of deduct meters. City will sell the meters to residents who need them.
Any discussion? Okay. Roll call, please.
Stevenson.
Yes.
Washington.
Yeah.
Belkey.
Yes.
Farrell.
Yes,
Marcinkowski.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
okay, I move approval of an ordinance amending section 36-237 of the Lebanon City Code to designate retail fireworks stands as an additional special use allowed in the C1 commercial district. Self-explanatory.
Need a second on that?
Second.
Have you got any discussion? Roll call?
Washington.
Yes.
Belkey.
Yes.
Farrell.
Yes,
Marcinkowski.
Yes.
Smith.
Abstain.
Stevenson.
Yes.
That's it.
Hey, George.
okay, I move approval of an ordinance adding Article 6 to Chapter 10 of the City of Lebanon Municipal Code regarding possession and sale of fireworks.
Need a second on that?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Belkey.
Yes.
Farrell.
Yes,
Marcinkowski.
Yes.
Smith.
Abstain.
Stevenson.
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
That's it.
Number 5, George.
number 5, I'm going to move approval of an ordinance implementing a municipal grocery retailer's occupation tax and a municipal grocery service occupation tax for the City of Lebanon.
Second. Okay, any discussion?
That is a 1% tax on grocery items. There's a list, only certain retailers can use it, grocery stores. It is a replacement of the tax that was removed by the state legislature.
Part of it, I don't understand here, and maybe nobody will be able to explain it. I guess it's a minor point. There seem to be two different things here. There's a grocery tax and something called a service tax.
That's in the statute. Those are in the statute.
So where that comes from is classification of certain things are classified as basically a sale, like the grocery, and certain things are a service, so. That would make it apply to, like, if you had a bakery, some things the bakery does would fall under the service portion of it, things like that. So their occupation tax, but they fall under different classifications, so it just covers both, just in case of how they describe it in their own way.
Thanks. Any more discussion? Okay, roll call?
Farrell.
Yes,
Marcinkowski.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Stevenson.
Yeah.
Washington.
Yeah.
Belkey.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, George. Water sewer, Pat? You got anything?
I know.
Okay. Cemetery?
Nothing, we meet July 7th at 6:30.
Okay. Health and safety, Ms. Washington?
July. Our next meeting is June 16th.
The public property, Amber's not here, so personnel. He's not here either. Okay, we'll move on to the clerk.
Just want to report that Jessica went down at First Federal and they replaced the 2 keys. I guess they redid the lock.
Yeah, they were.
So we have those. It's gonna be a sign in, a check-in, check-out policy, which is basically Jessica and myself. So we've agreed that typically if we go to that safe deposit box, it's gonna be both of us going there at the same time.
Did it? Treasurer?
The only thing I'll add to that is that, when I went into that safety, the box, there was a lot of deeds to properties and things like that, is kind of gonna be a project that we're working on of trying to figure out what of those properties the city still has. I think there was papers from the fifties, the sixties, like and some of them, when you go to open them, they wanna rip instead of opening. So we are scanning those in, getting electronically filed so that we have them, and then also trying to get a good copy back in the box. And tracking to see if we've still got those properties, what we've done with them. There's like wills that have said that they've like willed little pieces here and there, and we don't know what's happened with them over the years, so that's gonna be an ongoing project, but, that all was in there. I know a couple people asked me about that, so those were in those boxes. Or in that box, it was not messed with, and everything appears to have been there, and we will make an itemized list of what's in there when we go and get it organized and put it back.
That it?
That's all I'll share for now.
Okay. Okay, I have something to say here. Sometimes when construction projects have started, as with the Hunter Street lift station, citizens need to put away the selfish perpendicular pronoun I, suck it up, move on, and realize the project is for the betterment of the community, not just one individual. As a local radio DJ said, chillax, which is a combination of the word chill and relax. And other than that, I just have to say, in addition, individuals should refrain from contacting the EPA with false information. It may come back and bite you in the butt. That's all I've got. Department heads. Chief? Nothing? Okay, Penny, water sewer?
The only thing I have for tonight is to go along with the deduct meters. I did talk to the meter supplier and got a price for what those meters would cost. It is $124 would be our cost to purchase them right now. And we would really, relay that on to people who want those meters. If you have to have time to order those, get them in, they'd be a plastic meter, not a brass meter, or else it would be much more expensive and a much heavier weight to hang on the outside faucet. Also did check on the original documents at half inch, and I questioned that last week because I said there'd get more volume through the before. I did look at that, and on continuous flow, half inch and 3/4 inch are both delivering the same over the period. So I'll find out the weight difference, and then we'll determine whether we just get the half or the 3/4. But most of the other communities that are doing this are using half inch, so that's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Ben. Okay, Cody, everything?
Yeah, I want to add, I had a gentleman call today. I was actually really glad to take his phone call. He called on some issues with Lebanon. I do want to point out to everybody here that there's a prominent issue at Casey's at McAllister that we're working with. Some help would kind of be really appreciated. Call IDOT's hotline, ask them to come out and patch it, because I think my email / one phone call isn't really enough. I'm also going to reach out tonight and say alderpersons do the same. It makes a big difference. You have a friend of mine that works over at IDOT, and the more voices, the more they're gonna come out and patch. Had, like I said, a good conversation with a gentleman in town with a couple of places. And all I can say is get stuff to us. We don't drive every road, we don't drive every street every day, but we can definitely fix the things we know about. I can't fix a pothole that you know about that you drive over every morning. But if you send a text in or something, or get a hold of someone somehow, some way, we have a Voice Lebanon app, you can come up here, report it to Paul. All that information does get to the right people in a timely manner. Like I said, the biggest thing is I can't fix what I don't know. I do apologize, we don't drive every mile of town, but if we did, that's 27 lane miles that we would have to drive every day. Then we would never get anything done. That's all I have this time, but I appreciate that gentleman for reaching out.
Okay,
Just a quick question for Cody. That spot, I think I know where you're talking about where that large pothole is. That is the state's right away. It's not ours, or it's
So,
kind of like a mixture of
It's
both?
right on that edge, and here's the thing that we gotta be careful of, right? So, and Luke is probably smiling, because I'm gonna get into a little bit of the legal side of this. We get on a state highway, I put guys out on a state highway, and someone gets hit. Now we got bigger issues, right? Because we're not supposed to be on IDOT highways operating in their right of way. I'm sure you're aware of that as well, right? So they're kind of picking and choosing where we can be. Can we be out there? We can try everything we can to be safe. But you have to have your flagger certifications. You have to have all these certifications before you step foot on a highway. So until we train our guys to that point, we have to be very careful how we do something. So if we do end up going out there, we're gonna have cops shut the road at an angle, get as much stuff because we can get out there. But at the end of the day, we're gonna try and get IDOT to come out and fix what they need to fix, because they have the training, because they have the equipment, they have crash bumpers they put on the back of their trucks. We don't have any of that equipment available to us, and with the 4 guys that work here, the other 5 and 5, sorry, water sewer and everybody else, we all wanna go home at the end of the day too, so keep in mind, we do hear you, we're just making sure that everyone goes home with all 10 toes, all 10 fingers when they get done at the end of the day. Thank you.
Thanks, Cody. Building inspector, code enforcement officer isn't here, but he gave me something to read. It says from April 29th to June 9th, there have been 148 inspections completed. With 148 inspections, 108 of those were the first round of McHenry West. With the college attendees moving out, there will be more higher number inspections completed over the next couple of months. Code enforcement has given out 20 citations in that time period as well. All citations have been corrected as of this time. We'll move on to unfinished business. Vote to approve the 618 Inc. Business District Grant application. Yeah. You got anything to say, Matt?
Do it on the floor first. I want to get it on the floor first.
Okay. That's fine.
I'll move,
Okay.
and I'll move approval of the $10,000 grant to 618 Inc. Business. It's a business district grant.
Second.
Got a second?
You know, it's
Any discussion? Matt?
Well, I'm Matt Helm. I talked to the realtor today, said we got 50-50 chance in closing this month. Hoping for the good side of that 50, but I don't know how that's gonna affect this or anything if it doesn't happen this week or this month. I believe we talked about it was supposed to be 30 days within that time frame of the closing to actually start working on it. So I'm hoping everything goes well this month and get started on it immediately as soon as I get the keys in my hand.
Like I said before, you guys are the poster child for the way it's supposed to be done.
Awesome.
Okay. Any more discussion?
I'm assuming if they don't close, we'll have like an amending process on the date, like. Because he says it has to be done within 30, if they don't close, we're just gonna amend the date or
I have a
something.
walk around. So it'll start from when we sign the agreement, like there'll be an agreement to sign and then we'll go 30 days from there.
Okay,
We'll just do it when you close.
okay, perfect,
Well, then let's go with this month.
yeah.
So approval of this will get the agreement done first opportunity after it's closed. So we want to come back to that. That's why we're doing it.
Any more discussion? Hey, roll call please.
Barcinkowski,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Stevenson.
Yeah.
Washington,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Farrell.
Yes,
That it? Okay, if nothing else, I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
move adjourn on a voice vote.
I'm gonna have to give that to Belkey, sorry.
Yes.
Well, then it'll have to be a roll call.
Sure.
That's right.
Okay, hey, we'll do it just to please George. Okay, roll call. Any discussion? Okay, roll call please.
Smith,
You wanna go?
Yes.
Stevenson.
Yeah.
Washington,
Yeah.
Belkey.
Yes.
Farrell,
Yes.
Barcinkowski.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. Everybody have a good evening.
See you right.
Oh.